Hello, everybody. My name is Kamara, and today we will be reviewing our sixth installment of the first season of Bubble Guppies, Season 1, Episode 6, the Grumpfish Special. In this episode, the Bubble Guppies deal with Mr. Grumpfish, a difficult and short-tempered customer at their restaurant. Now, this episode, I really, really love it. This episode is by far the most nostalgic to me. I love it super duper much. It's just so anything food indicated in certain cartoons that I like, you already know I'm there. And the Bubble Guppies, they make their food look so good in their show. I just probably the main reason why I love this episode so much. So okay, so in this episode, we have Dima and walking swimming to school, and then they pass by a restaurant and they notice two crabs flipping pancakes, and then they explain that the restaurant is where people come to eat at until they see Mr. Grumpfish, our first appearance to him in the series. And then the crabs explain he's their Grumpy's customer. He doesn't like anything, and it's clearly indicated because he says, "I want pancakes." And then I like how Una says, and he doesn't say please. And then Dima's like, rude. I love it when Dima says that. And then the girls head to school, and then when they come into the classroom, they're flipping the pancakes. And then I like how Nani asks, "What are you doing?" And then he explains that they're pancake chefs, and they've seen uh, uh, crabs making pancakes in a restaurant. And then all the other guppies explain that they love restaurants. And then Una and Dima decide that they want to open up their own restaurant. And Gil asks, "What type of restaurant?" And then they go into the question segment, and then they talk about the certain foods they should serve, like for breakfast pancakes, for lunch turkey and cheese sandwich and a salad. And then we have our song I Want to Go to a Restaurant, which is by far one of my favorite songs in the series, especially when they're harmonized at the very end. It's just so good. And I like how Dima has a mustache on, and Molly calls Dima a he, what just comes to show you that girls can pretend to be boys, and girls can pretend to be boys, and boys can pretend to be girls because they're young. Let them be it. It's not a crime if a girl wants to put on a mustache, and it's not like the end of the world. Same thing for boys. Like, come on now. Okay, it's not gonna turn into a very political episode. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, okay, then we head up to the shop segment, which is a fruit restaurant. And I love the names of the fruits that they asked for. Molly wants a banana and a fofana, which is a reference to the song, like banana fana, banana fana fofana. Yeah, that's how it went. And then Gobi wants a strawberry spectacular. And then when Nani's making his strawberry spectacular, he puts too many strawberries, and he asks the viewer to help him count the fruits, which is really fun. And then in the lunch segment, we have Gobi, who got the lunch joke, and he had 3 chicken surprise. And then Nani says, "But there are only 2 chickens." And then the chicken pops out, and she's like, "Surprise!" Which is really fun. This is by far my favorite lunch joke of this series. It's really funny. And they do the same lunch joke again in season 3, which is really fun. And then we cut over to Molly and Gil, and then there's a lot of fruits running around. And Molly's like, "What was that?" And then Gil's chasing all the fruits and vegetables. And then when he catches his breath, he explains to Molly and the viewer, fast food, because the food is running fast, so fast food. That was pretty clever. And then we cut over to the classroom where Dima and Una are making pizzas out of clay, which I used to do that all the time. Like in daycare, I used to make pizzas out of Play-Doh, which is really funny, which is really nostalgic. Like, I remember doing that a lot. And then they have Mr. Grouper pretend to be their customer, and then they make a pizza in the shape of Bubble Puppy, which is really, really cute. And then they decide what their main course is going to be at their restaurant. They decide they're going to make picture pizzas, and Mr. Group suggests Dima should be the chef. And then all the other guppies want to help, and then they explain that Mr. Grouper explained there's a lot of jobs you could do at a restaurant, like there's a bubble of Dima being the chef, and there's a bubble of Gil being the waiter, and then there's a bubble of Una being the hostess. And then we have one of my favorite songs of the series. The restaurant dance is super duper fun. Like, roll the dough, now roll the dough. Come on, everybody, let's roll the dough. One of my favorite songs ever. And then we cut over to the Storybook segment, which is titled Super Restaurant Chef, where Gil is super waiter, And then not Una. Nani is his sidekick, busboy, which is really really funny. And I like how he's like da, 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 like so bluntly, like it was so cute. And then like Dima is their customer, and she wants an order of peas, carrots, and corn. And then Gil decides to go to the Garden of Doom, but then Nani says the chef can get them everything that we need inside the restaurant. But then Gil insists that we go to the Garden of Doom. And then I like how there's this lightning when they're flying, but I'm not gonna lie, the lightning kind of scared me as a kid. I don't know why. And then pops up Rotten Tomato. Then he zaps Gil and later on Molly into a pickle. And then I like how Molly says, "I'm in a pickle too," and then he laughs. And then Rotten Tomato, he mixes up all the vegetables. And then I like how Nani and Molly give the audience a tip of if they don't know what peas and carrots look, um, peas, carrots, and corn look like. They said which bowl has green, orange, and yellow vegetables, which was a really good tip. Heck, even I was a bit confused as a kid, so I'm happy they gave me that little tip. And the other viewers that were watching this episode. And then they were finally able to get the order, but then quite surprisingly, Nani reflected on Rotten Tomatoes pickle power, and then it reflected back on Molly, and then she's out of the pickle. She was in a pickle, now she's out of the pickle. And then I like how he goes into slow motion and everything else is not in slow motion, Rotten Tomato. And then Molly hands Nani the ketchup bottle, and then it was so clever. They catch a tomato in a ketchup bottle. That is so clever. And then he says, "I'll get you next time, busboy." And fun fact, he actually does come back in season 3, but we'll talk about that when we do. And I like how Nani says, "If you can catch up," and all the little fish laugh. And then they finally give Dima her order, and everyone's happy ever after. And I like how Nani like swims up, like he's flying. Like that was a good detail at the end. And then we cut back to Molly and Gil again, and I like how Molly's like, "Wow, Gil, you are dressed up." And then he's like, and then he's waiting around, and then she's like, "What are you doing?" "I'm a waiter." And then she said, "What are you, um, what are you doing?" He said, "I'm waiting," which is really funny. And then they finally cut open to their actual restaurant, the pizzeria, which is really, really cool. I absolutely love Una's dress. It's so super duper cute. And then, and then their customers one of their customers happens to be the crab chef we saw at the start of the episode when the girls are walking to school. And then they want to sell pizza. And then we get a little montage of Mr. Grouper and the other guppies making the pizza. And I like how Mr. Grouper says, "I'll put it in the oven," because he's an adult, and adults are the only ones supposed to work with hot objects. And I like how that I like that little detail. You know, he's a father figure and he's there to help out as a father figure, which is really really nice. And then they give him the sub pizza, and then Mr. Grumpfish arrives, and then Una sits him down, and then Una asks Gil to take his order, and then he's like, "I don't wanna," and then Molly pushes him, and he's like, "Come on, I'll go with you." And then Gil is so scared. He's like, "Hello, I'm waiter, and I'll be your Gil today." And then Mr. Grumpfish's like, "What?" And then Gil suggests that perhaps you'll be interested in the special today. We'll surprise you. And then fun fact, there is actually no special. There's no special. And then Gil's like, well, he'll have the special. And then the Guppies are like, "What special?" And then he's like, "I don't know. I just made it up." And then I like how Molly looks. She's crossing her arms like, "Oh my God, Gilly, what did you got ourselves into?" Oh man. And then Dima knows exactly what to make. And I like it when Mr. Grumpfish, he scares out the little fish. I like that gag a lot. I like that gag. And then they finally make the special, and it turns out the special is a pizza in the shape of Mr. Grumpfish. And then he starts smiling, he starts laughing and laughing to the point where he blows Dima's hat off her head and starts singing Grumpy Fish, our first short song of the series, which is really, really fun. And I like how they end everybody, the Guppies, and then the customers, they're like, "Happy fishes all are we." Like, that was really, really fun. And then toward the end of the episode, we come back to Molly and Gil one last time, and then Gil finally catches all of the food, and then there's a pickle that escaped, and then Gil tries to get the pickle, and then he drops the container in the process, and then the pickle lets out all of the other foods to start running back around again, and then Gil chases them back again off screen, and then Molly laughs to end the episode. So this episode was really, really, really fun. I liked it a lot. The food in this episode just looks so super duper appetizing, and any episode that involved food in the series, I was so down to watch it. It was just so much fun. So I'm giving this episode a 10. It was very, very nostalgic to me, and I couldn't have this episode any other way. And we got introduced to a a very, so, very funny yet um, iconic, at least to me, supporting character in the series. So yeah, it was really fun. Now tune into another personal favorite episode of mine. Next, we'll be reviewing season 1, episode 7, The Moon Rocks. See you on there.